Hello and welcome to episode 7, season 7 of Meat Pie Sausage Roll with the mighty Latics, Oldham Athletic and Bood. And as always, thanks for joining me. Thanks for everything you do for me. You know what all that is by now. But if you are brand new, feel free to subscribe and make sure you all hit that bell. And you'll never miss one of my videos because they do come out at random times. I do get that. I'm a busy man. But you understand, don't you? I love you too. Oh, such a nice thing of you to say. Anyway, right. Big season. We're in the championship. We've done quite well over the last few years, but I was, wondering, is this going to be a reality check for us? Because, yeah, it's going to be tougher. It's going to be a lot tougher. A lot tougher. And it's going to be tougher for a few reasons, because we've kind of done really well on a budget over the years. I often say sometimes I don't think there's much difference between League 1 and League 2 at times, but the Championship is a different kettle of fish, and I really needed some luck. Sometimes you need a lot of luck in the summer, and sometimes you get a lot of luck. I could have done with some investment. I got no investment. I could have done with just some great players falling on my lap for nothing. Well, that didn't happen either. Now we've got some players in. I've signed maybe one or two, nothing to shout about. And I've had to go down the loan route, especially the free loan route, because it was tough. And the most annoying thing was the amount of real quality actually that was out there on a free. Good players, better than I thought we'd ever be able to get, who want 30-40 grand a week, and that is never going to happen with this club of ours. Now we do have a bit of money. I have sold some players. There were some players from last year that had been hanging around, and I ended up getting rid of about 10, and that accumulated to about £1 million. Things come in, your season tickets and all that good stuff, and as you can see, I have got a little bit of wiggle room in them wages, but the players were just not there. Even Man City, the freaking free transfer youth farm, which I raid every year, was shocking. 3 players, all shit. Nowhere near good enough for who we are right now. Or they were too good, I can't remember. But there was nothing, right? Every single club, I've done this now the last couple of years, and it's been brilliant for me. We have picked up some great players and built a good team. But there was nothing, either too expensive or too shit, or they chose another team. Some of them chose teams below us in the divisions, which I don't understand. We do have quite a few loans, and I think I've brought in 6 at this point. Yeah, I've signed a goalkeeper or 2. Nothing to shout about. Pretty much going to have to stick with the same team. Now, of course, we lost Granty, and yes, I did try to loan him back. He is up for loan, but they don't want to loan him to us because they feel like it's time he experiences something new when he goes out on loan and not just come back to us where he's been forever. Although part of that loan deal was to have a friendly, so we do play Porto in a friendly in the summer. But pretty much apart from them loans, I'm going with the same team, which is a bit risky. But the lads have done well. They kind of deserve a shot in a way. But yeah, let's have a look at some of these players. I've got this dude, or Doob, a young defender. I mean, they're all from big teams pretty much-ish. Ben Allingham, who can also play at centre-half, who I think is very good, to be fair. Nikos Samanos, who I brought in as a right winger, ends up playing all season up for me up front, and there's a reason for that. Because our star striker, Mr. Ogwuru, we all know how good Daniel is, won't sign a new deal, and as you can see, has decided to opt out. He wants to go to a bigger club. Mr. Billy Big Balls, he's had 3 good seasons with us after being abandoned and forgotten about, and thinks his dog's nuts now, doesn't he? So Daniel can go. I don't care. I was gutted as well. I wanted to test him out, but he can piss right off. We've got Stephen Whittle, a midfield centre as well from Spurs. I'm sure I've got a couple more. Yep, 2 more. I'm not saying his name. He's a striker. Can also play out wide. And Matt Richards, a midfield centre. So that's it. I mean, goalkeeper wise, I bought George Wickens, who's now upset because I found another goalkeeper. Cost me about 20 grand. I've got this lad called Tommy Reed on a free. That's it. That's it. Everyone else are here. Now, I've given out new contracts. I've had to boost some deals. As soon as that championship thing popped up on the top there when it says, oh, you're now a championship team, it was like boom, 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 unhappy. Want new deal. So guys who are on 6 grand a week ended up going on 14 grand a week. So yeah, they kind of used some money to, solidify and keep some of the good players we've already got. I mean, we've got a decent team, but this is the championship. I'm going to be honest with you, we're favourites to go down, and A lot of people have said in the comments, oh, come on, man, you got to do this to get to the Prem. You've got to do this until you get to Europe. We'll be lucky to stay in the Championship this year. I don't know if we'll ever will get to the Prem. I've kind of got an end target in mind. This series was never meant to run like this. I'll be honest with you. I was going to do some other things, but I've enjoyed it, so I'm carrying it on. The Road to Anywhere will be starting in a few weeks. It'd be nice to try and get to the Prem, but without some real investment and money and a bit of luck, maybe next summer, if we can survive, I'll be lucky. Because you can find that, can't you? Some summers it's like, wow, players everywhere. You're snatching them for fun. And then you get a summer like this where there's just nothing. Nothing. Absolutely all really. My staff took a bit of a hit, but even though I haven't improved the facilities, they opened up a load of new spots, right? So I've managed to fill them spots, as you can tell. Not bothering with director of football or anything, but everything else is sorted there, innit? Decent, great physios, brilliant coaching team, so hopefully that will keep us in this league. Pre-season, we played one of our affiliates, Kurt's national local team, beat Barnet as well, obviously Porto. Grant didn't play, I was a bit miffed. They beat us anyway, and then I drew Westerlo, and Genoa, which I don't think is a bad result. Kicking off our season against Barnsley. Yeah, I was just wondering about a few things. Well, one thing, I'm not a tactic guy. I've got two, pretty much the same one, except to switch one position. Now, some people will probably get to this point and think, right, we're coming up against better quality here. I'm going to change my tactic. I'm going to fuck about with it, and I never do that. What we've done is play specifically this way mainly. I've switched, and I do it this year as well. And it's got us this far. Now, we might leave us exposed, pushing up, pressing, all that stuff. But it's who we are, and it's our identity, and I'd rather fight on through. But will that work for me or against me? So let's find out. Let's jump forward to January and see. Well, by the 1st of January, we're probably where we're supposed to be. 21st with 23 points. Can you see us just about over my shoulder? Barnsley, Blackpool and Luton below us. And we've pretty much been there all season. We've had dips into the relegation zone. We've gone maybe a position higher. But 21st has been a consistent theme for us. Won 5, drawn 8, lost 12. But the lad I've loaned in to go on my right wing ends up playing up front. And he ain't doing too bad there, is he? Omari Hutchinson, whatever his name is, he's doing all right on the assists. I mean, when I was at this stage, you say to me, with the team we've got and the budget we've got, compared to some of these other teams, right, in this division, would you take 21st to snap your hand off? Could be in a relegation fight, this. Could have a relegation fight LifeCon. Got so used to us being quite good last few years that when you see so much red, it's not great. And I mean, defensively, we've been a bit shit sometimes. But, you know, like I said, we're going for it. We played positive, we're pushing at them. We're not changing who we are. Now, maybe some people are screaming out saying, you should have gone defensive. But whenever I do, I try and mess with my tactic and make it more defensive. Let's push people back. Let's sit deeper. I get peppered more. I don't feel like I can be successful. I want to change my mentality. I just feel like, you want to change my mentality to defensive. I feel like I get battered. No, I'd rather just stick to this and just see if I can survive with it, because they don't want me to do anything but fight bravely. And at the minute, we're fighting bravely. And we've picked up some wins. We beat Fulham, Blackpool, West Brom 4-0. I mean, that was a great little period. I was loving that. 3 games on the bounce, and then all that. And then my last game, I beat Stoke. The Stoke team, who battered me in the cup. Was it last year before? I think it was last season. So I'm happy. We're not in the bottom 3. Quick look at the squad. You know, we've got some good players who are doing all right. Omari Hutchinson is still a fantastic lad. Josh Martin's still cracking. They're just missing their partner in crime, Granty. And it is interesting. I would have been interested to see what it'd be like if we could have kept him. Because he'd be playing week in, week out, and I've had a look. He's not doing all for Porto. It annoys me that when a good young player moves on and then rots. But anyway, some of the lone lads are doing well. Like I said, Nikos there scored 16. Made a few sub appearances. You know, there's a few changes. I've rotated a bit. I'm just trying to put out my best team and closing my eyes and just hoping that we do something. It's the money though. Look, the money's going now. And I mean, I haven't got the biggest wage budget. 138 grand a week. Crazy that, isn't it, really? There's just not a lot of money in this club, is there? And we've had a takeover from within. Dudes put no money in. So that wasn't anything special either. It's frustrating. But this is what it is. This is when you're at a club like this, and you know, even if it's like when I do my own custom series and I take a team from the bottom to the top, you know, maybe I put things in place like you can build a stadium, or you can, you know, there's like an owner who might have a few quid, so I can carry that story on because it's supposed to be a long-term series. This is a bit different, isn't it? And it, you know, I could be slogging at this for ages, or it could just click into place next season and we could do really well. I'm not giving up, like, I want to do another one, definitely. But if I get relegated, I'd probably end it. Look forward to the 1st of April. The intake again was poor, but we've got a decent player there. 4-star, Tom Richards, right back. He's the only one I'm going to sign. Now, it is the 1st of April. And sometimes just got to... I play this game so much sometimes, even when I'm not on a great run. I stick to my guns a lot, man. And I've been called out for it sometimes for being daft, but I kind of like sticking to my guns, and sometimes you can be proven a bit right. Because by the 1st of April, we were 15th, right? On 47 points. I'm not 100% sure there if we're safe at this point. I can't remember. It's the 1st of April. No one's been relegated yet, so a lot of things can change down there at the bottom. Nikos, the lad on loan, scoring me the goals. So sod off Daniel Aguero. Wants to go to a bigger club. We made him. It's annoyed me, that. Genuinely pissed me off. But anyway, 15th. That's pretty good. So the results, I've reversed them. I've hidden a few. So the first game, since the last time you saw it, we lost 3-2 against QPR, right? But then started to pick up a good few points. Look at that. 5 games on the bounce there, beating Sunderland, West Brom, Coventry, Peterborough, Drury, Blackpool's not bad. And then, you know, a bit patchy, but better. Like, we improved, and I felt like we improved. Like, you could just tell the way we were playing. Like, they just found their mojo maybe a little bit, and they wasn't finished yet. Not really. Where they were finished, though, was the cups. As always. We're always out of them by now. And we're only in 2 of them, don't forget. The first one is the Carabao Cup. We got knocked out by Burnley 2-1 in the second round. And then the FA Cup in the third round. Went straight in the third round like big boys. And we drew with Leeds, which is mint. At Allen Road. Bring it back to boundary, and they bend us over and spank us right up the bumhole. Bastards. And yes, we skin. And this is the issue, isn't it? It's the issue. I mean, I've got a few young, good players who were maybe worth a couple of mil. If I sell them on to make money, I'm really going to be able to bring that quality in. These are lads I signed who were discarded, who I've made good. I don't want to lose my good players just for a few quid that really I don't think I could do much with. Unless we had a big influx like 20 million or got in the Premier League or whatever. I'm not going to be able to make massive changes. It's going to be a scrap. We're just going to have to hope there's a right player here or there pops up in the summer that just can kick us on that little bit. But how much did we kick on towards the end of the season? Well, we're still 15th, right? With a couple of games left to play, we've got to play Brentford at home and Bournemouth away, right? We're still 15th on 57 points. Pretty safe, right? Barnsley have been relegated. Nikos is still the second leading goal scorer. Hutchinson sets him up for fun. But this, I was really chuffed with this. This gave me like a buzz. Like a genuine buzz last night when I was finishing this off. Because look how we've been going last few games. Obviously beating Barnsley, beat Fulham, Ipswich, Watford, drew with Swansea. Like a real good chunk, and there's been a few periods like that. Obviously this period here, and that period there, was it around February? You know, periods that have saved us really. We didn't have a, yeah, look at the start there. Christ, for that little one there in November when I had 3 wins on the bounce. But we've done this a lot, like, where we've been quite good, and you probably in the lower leagues where I've got to the halfway point, we've jumped in and you've seen that we've done well, and then by the end we maybe April we might have dropped off, and then we kind of get our shit together near the end of the season. We've been like that, I think, a few times. Getting towards the end, start steamrolling towards that the light at the end of the tunnel and start picking up them points and getting a bit more consistent. Obviously it saved it last night though. Been in work, I thought, you know what, it's not really special. We're not going to go down. We're not going in the playoffs. Let's at least play Brentford at home and see what we can do. Before we do though, here's a squad arranged by average rating. And, you know, there's some good lads here. I mean, Ben White's unhappy, playing in a weaker role. Shut up, Ben. Look how versatile you are. does me head in. Thomas, he's a good little player, wants to leave, wants to play more. I can get that. I've got a really good left back who Sam Murray is just above him, as you can see. But you know, these lads are picked up for nothing. Like Josh and Omari and Alex and Tim, and these lads, I love that. And they're just a little team sometimes. I just wish Granty was here with them. Absolutely gutted for Granty. And of course, Daniel frozen the out, and I very rarely do that sometimes, even if someone's pissed me off. But it just, I don't know if I was tired the other day when I was playing, and it just, it's a game, but you know, just like, you were nowhere. You were absolutely nowhere. I mean, Bolton went to City for 100 grand, did nothing at City. They loaned him to Rochdale. He was half decent in League 2. Goes to Shrewsbury in the Championship, plays 3 times, can't score, and gets discarded by City, right? You've had an average season, okay season. In League 2 with Rochdale, right? Our rival, by the way. You come to me, I focus on you, I play you week in, week out, and you get better and better. Look out, you got better and better. 41 games, 21 goals, great average rating. 44 games, 23 goals. 44 games again, 31 goals. And now he thinks he's in big cheese, but his contract runs out anyway, so he can fuck off. Honestly, this has annoyed me, you can probably tell. But welcome to Boundary Park, which is empty, apparently. There's no one here. Good old Football Manager, eh? Anyway, Brentford, managed by Mark Van Bommel. Mark Van Bommel. Why is there no one here? So here we go. Yeah, we had a great game against him. Daniel James, injured. Brentford are 11th. Obviously, we're in 15th. But, you know, we can still do well. I just don't get the no fans thing. It's happened a couple of times, this. Is this a bug, by the way? Have you had it yourself? I don't know. But I've got a good team out here. Richards, who's on loan, is a central midfielder. He's playing as an AMC. He wasn't when he first came here, and his AMC ability is only like an orange circle at the minute, but he's got really good attributes, and I've stuck in there a few times. He's developed some good lads here. If I can get him on loan again next year, I will. If I can sign some, I will. But we have got a core of really good players ourselves. I was gutted this summer that I couldn't bring in another like batch of really good freebies. Just wasn't any there. Oh, check this out. Beautiful bit of football. Look at this. See what I mean? Matt Richards, eh? So, on the bus. I've got a bus tale for you. I had a guy get on the other day. Big bloke. Probably about 30. Black beard. He got on. Very friendly. He had a disability pass, which doesn't always mean they've got a disability. It could maybe, you know, he could have anything. You know, maybe even autism or whatever. You know, maybe learning difficulties. But he was fine. Dead nice guy. Gets on. And Matt Richards is playing out of position, that says, by the way. Scores goals. And he's like, all right, mate, thank you. Really, thank you for this. Thank you. I was like, yeah, no worries, mate. It's all right. It's my job. And I'm driving along, and I'm doing this bus that goes through country roads. So, and I can hear this woman on the phone, and she's going mental on the phone, right? Mental. To whoever she's speaking to about how her boyfriend's let her down, he's lost the best thing he's ever had, blah, blah, blah. It's going on for ages. I'm like, proper being nosy, but I can't look because I'm driving down, it's raining, like a little country road, yeah? Get to some traffic lights, get through them, and there's a timing point where we have to wait for a bit, catch our time up. I'm like, who's this woman? I look round. Oh, get in, Luke! I look round, and it's not a woman, it's him, right? And I believe this dude had a split personality, because when they say people have split personalities, multiple personalities, they change to a completely different person. That was good. This voice wasn't like, you know, when you're a man, you'd maybe try and do a female voice. It still sounds like a man doing a female voice, doesn't it? Because you got your Adam's apple and all that. Or he doesn't sound right. This was pitch perfect. And he's like, he completely changed his mannerisms and everything. And then he stayed like that. And when he got off the bus, like a completely different person saying thank you to me and everything. It sounded just like it's mental. I've had people with multiple personalities before, but I just was not expecting that. Do you know what I mean? Mad. You meet and see all sorts on the bus. Anyway, it's half time, and I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think we'd be winning 2-0. They're still in that groove. They found that groove at the end of the season, haven't they? Let's go, boys. Let's go. Buzzing. Hutchinson now been very good this season as Hutch. Condell's not a bad player. Got some really good players. And the way we have kind of come on at the end of the year, it's going to be a case again in the summer, though, isn't it? What money have I got? Can I bring the same quality of loaning? Can we actually bring some players in this year? Will there be a better batch of freebies? Oh, go on, Knight. Oh, because everyone's on decent contracts. All my good players have re-signed again. A lot of them wanted pay rises and extra years, which is cool. So, 14's pretty respectable. There's a chance with the right available players that maybe we could get closer to them playoffs if we can carry this form over into next season, because at the end of the season we've turned into a good side, beating good teams and doing well, playing good football. So yeah, I mean, I was downbeat at the halfway point because I was thinking, part of me's thinking, it's a relegation battle and it'd be quite exciting. That I've never had that where I get to the end of the season and it's like, here's the live com, last game of the season. If we win, we stay up. If we lose, we go down. That'd be quite exciting, like a cup final, really, wouldn't it? But I'm chuffed how they developed and how much better they got. Corner ball, Condell to take it. I've made some subs, they're not taking effect yet. Can we get a third though? That'd be lovely jabbly, wouldn't it? Here is Condell. Finds Whittle with a long range effort. So yeah, change the striker. We've got a fullback on as well. Opera's come on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of this year. Some videos, got another experiment coming out maybe tomorrow. Can't wait for the Road to Anywhere. I'm doing a podcast on the Offbeat podcast again, but he's got a location now, he's got a setting to do it in, and I'm doing it with Lee Monaghan. Don't know if you know who he is. Great guy, great Twitch streamer, which is quite exciting. Looking forward to that. Yeah, and by the way, are you watching the World Cup? I'm going to watch bits. It's a bit weird, isn't it? I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how excited I am about it. I'll be honest with you. But let me know your predictions. Who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Get involved in the comments. Why not? Let's get chatting about the old World Cup. But here we are with 3 minutes of injury time, which I had to explain to my 5-year-old yesterday. I was watching the end of Qatar, sorry, which was shite, with my son, and they had stoppage time. Ben Knight. This is awesome. And he wanted to know what stoppage time meant. He still didn't get it. And talking to Luke from the Offbeat podcast, he reminded me the other week about an Oldham song. I forgot about it. Just pause there 1 minute. A great victory. We're 14. But yeah, Luke from the Offbeat podcast. You maybe have seen my Offbeat podcast episode I did ages ago now. Can't wait to go back on, especially with my friend Limo. But this is Luke. Part of his message he sent me the other day. Now, if you're an Oldham fan, do you remember this, or do you still say it? So this is Luke. He was on my podcast recently. I don't know if you saw that, the sub pod.
Yeah, Oldham saying, and then I was thinking that there's either 2 ways you can go about it. It was either that one, or there's the other chant they used to do where it was like, it was a T, it was an I, it was a T, it was an S. What do you do with them? You're Oldham.
I love that. Is that real? Give us a T, give us an I, give us a T, give us an S. What do you do with them? Oldham. Well, we did not let up. What an end to the season. Just beaten Bournemouth, who were 5th. 2-1 away. And I mean, maybe FM did. We got a goal early on. They come back, scored one. Another one. They've found their feet, haven't they? So here we are now. It's the 1st of June. Let's have a look at how everything ended. So Blackburn are going up. Lee Green Shields, you'll love that. So are Hull and Ipswich won the playoffs, beating Watford, who are in Europe. So Watford must have done something very good. Blackpool, Plymouth and Barnsley are going down. In the Premier League, my beloved Manchester United, who seem to be consistently 6th, are 6th. Chelsea won the league. We've got Forest, Southampton and Burnley coming down. So Burnley, Blackburn doing a swap. Sancho, by the way, won Player of the Year. Not very realistic. Man City battered Brighton 5-0 in the Carabao Cup. And there you go. Watford beat Leeds. What an FA Cup final. I love that. Especially because Leeds lost. But Watford, well done. Hey, how good's that? We actually have a little bit of money because we got one of our payments from the Granty deal. It was a big chunky one. Thank you very much. It makes me feel a bit better. So we got 2.3 in the bank. Nothing to spend. And 15 grand on wages. Now I've removed the loans because they're not mine, so let's be realistic, and I've arranged it by average rating, so the guys at the top's the best player this year, but you can see there expiry dates, a lot of 31s, a couple of 32s, a few 30s, so I'm gonna have to look into that because I don't want to lose the Omari Hutchinsons of this world although he is wanted by Hull. He's wanted. Alex, very good player, by 11 clubs, so I could have players snatched in granty situations, couldn't I? So I have no idea. I think it's going to be the toughest, busiest, craziest summer going into episode 8. There we go. That is the end of season 7, episode 7. Kind of turned out all right, I think. I'd love to know what you think for who we are and what we are and the money we've got. That end run was brilliant. I think finishing 14th is really good, really respectable, especially when we spent the first half of the season teetering on relegation. So I'm really, really happy. One thing I'm not happy with is when I film the office part, I can't see myself when I film the game bit. And I hate not having a beard. He was just dead itchy yesterday and I took it off. I hate it. I nearly left a moustache just for a laugh. But no, don't like it. But I like you. Thank you for supporting the series and this episode and everything I do. If you are brand new, feel free to subscribe and make sure you all hit that bell. And you get a little notification then when a new video comes out. And there might be a video out tomorrow featuring my Manchester United. Something I wanted to do for a while now. So hopefully you'll tune in for that. And stay happy, stay safe, and make sure you get your beautiful peachy bottom back here for season 8, which fucking no idea what's going to happen. I'll get stuck into that tonight. Can't wait. And I'm off tomorrow. You know what I'm doing. I told the wife I'm cleaning all day. I'll clean for half an hour at 100 mile an hour, and then I'm playing FM. So anyway, see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.